Hello and welcome back to a Madman Big Finish review, a video series where I review one of the latest Big Finish releases. For this one, I am joined with Professor Pixel. More of me.
More of me.
Where's your copy of what season was he holding up? Or was it like he was holding something up. It was either like season 22 or 23
or 23. I think it's 22.
More of me.
More of me.
More of
Don't
me.
bother trying to leave. I've locked all the doors. All I can think of is what's his first line? And just in time, or something like that. Not a moment too soon.
No, it's Oh yeah, I think it is. Yeah, change my dear, and not a moment too soon.
That's right.
But yes, we are here to review the Quin Dilemma, the latest box set in the Six Doctor Adventures range, celebrating 40 years of Colin Baker's Sixth Doctor. Jeez, 40 years.
Which is weird when, it's Quinn and it's 5.
That's 5. So
Yeah.
they probably should have left this for 50.
I mean, kind of, but at the same time, I don't know.
At the same time, it's only 4 Doctors, so I guess. Even the numbering in a lot of these things is a bit weird.
No,
But yeah.
there's 5 there.
Is there 5 Doctors? There's 4 on the cover.
There's 4 on the cover, but there's 5
there. Oh yeah, that's right. There is 5 because there's Mel's, there's First Perry's. No.
Yes.
It's 4. Oh yeah, there's 5. Constance and Clark. Constance and Flips. Then second Perry. And then I'm trying to remember where the 5th one was. Pretty sure there was only 4.
Pretty sure there's
because only 4 get taken.
Is it only 4 get taken? Which is so weird because in the first interview they talk about when we came up with the idea, we really wanted to put 5 of him, 6 doctors in a room.
I'm guessing maybe.
Yeah, there's only 4. You're right. I apologize.
Yeah, it's only 4. I don't know why someone in the view was like maybe 5. It's like, hey, more the better, but there was only 4.
So this is technically a multi-doctor story.
Technically, yes. Technically. But yes, we are here to talk about the Quin Dilemma, celebrating 40 years of the Sixth Doctor. It is comprised of 6 stories. It sees the Sixth Doctor throughout his life being hunted down by the Quins. 5 brothers who are vying for control of their planet. All their task is to capture the person responsible for the disappearance of their mother, the Doctor.
Oh, I hate these things. I have a bad feeling it usually ends up with them calling for the Doctor's head. Oh, that's ridiculous. I've never even been here before.
Bring me the Doctor's head.
Now, if you want to be king, bring me the Doctor's head. What?
But yes, for these
Doctor.
Yes, for the 6 stories, they are written by Jacqueline Rayner, Chris Chapman, and Robert Valentine. All 3 of them all doing 2 stories each. So, the Quin Dilemma. Very different format because there are 6 stories. They are approximately 30 to 40 minutes each. Not the typical box set of where either they're going to be an hour each, 3 hour-long stories, or 1 hour-long story, or a 2 hour-long story with it, or just one big... This is technically one big 3 hour-long story. It is just separated into parts. And I want to talk about that first because I kind of like it like this. I kind of like it separated like this, even though it's about the same length as, let's say, Fugitive of the Daleks. They're both around the same length, and they're both one story, but they're all jumping to different points. I do like it as this format where it's 6 stories separated, but it's all once. They're all They all have a thread connecting them all. Mainly, the first and the six stories are the ones that are the present day stuff. That's the main story. Then everything else is just tied into it with their own separate adventures, which all lead together. So we're gonna go into spoilers. Obviously.
We already have been going into spoilers.
We already have. So what were your thoughts on the Quin Dilemma? Do you want to go story by story, or should we just go as a whole?
I think as a whole, because like each story does have its own merits. I mean, there's a two-parter technically in here, but
just fitting into the theme, because for that two-parter, the Doctor has two companions, and it is two brothers that are after him.
Yep.
In a civil war between two sisters.
Yep. Who are pretty much trying to rule their planet.
Yeah. I thought Quin was the number. Thought 5 was the number, not 2.
But it's. I think as a whole is a better way to discuss it, because with each story you do have the individual. Well, this is really good on its own. This is really good on its own. But overall, I think the box set strength, you're right, is that it's doing these little things, but it has that thread that's bringing it all together at the end.
Yeah.
Wait, the Doctor's been kidnapped like this before. Why do I remember this? Wait, I'm going to the TARDIS. I loved this. I love the Sixth Doctor. Everybody knows that pretty much. Watch this channel. But this does a great job of celebrating. Honestly, one of my favorite Doctors, just of all time. I love him, and this is a great celebration. This is a real celebration compared to celebration. But this one really takes that time, gives him the time with each of the companions. I mean, when's the last time we had a story with Flip?
Actually, let me look this up. I should have brought this up. Because yes, another big thing is the fact that Lisa Greenwood, who voices Flip, had not returned to the role until now, and that's because she got long COVID, so she obviously very sick and couldn't come back to perform. Miranda Rayson, that voices Constance, hasn't been in a Sixth Doctor story for a while, so Flip has not been in a Doctor Who story since 2020, and that was during when the monthly adventures was still a thing.
Yeah.
So after this was recorded in 2023. So after 3 years, she returned to the role. Constance, though, I think it's maybe roughly the same. Maybe 2 years. Maybe 2 to 3 years. Last one was 2021. So yeah, 3 years. So that's the big thing. That's a big recurring thing with at least definitely the Sixth Doctor's companions, is that aside from obviously Mel, who carries over to 7, we don't have definitive ends. Evelyn. Evelyn doesn't have. Evelyn has a definitive end. But Flip, Constance, current Perry, they don't really have an end. We don't know what their last story is.
But didn't you love when the oldest Sixth Doctor, and when they're all in the room, it actually goes Perry.
Oh yeah, so six names, like the order of who he travels with. Very deep cut. Grant is mentioned. Grant is from the Virgin Missing Adventures. He's only in one proper full novel. Everything else is short trips novels, short trip stories. That's a very deep cut. Having the Doctor naming Grant Markham as a companion, and then there was Mari, and I'm like, who was Mari? She was in classic Doctor's New Monsters.
Oh wow!
You know, with the Sixth Doctor with the dream crabs. She's the companion
No,
in his.
I didn't hear that one. That's why I don't.
Well, she's in that one. I'm just like, okay, so I guess she counts. Yeah, even though it was in a dream.
That's
It's interesting. He counts her as a companion, even though it.
And Frobisher again.
Frobisher.
Oh, Mel again.
Mel again.
All over the place.
It's fun. That was a fun sequence.
I loved it, and nobody asks who Frobisher is. They know.
We know. Bring him back, you cowards.
I almost wish there was just a little more of a nod towards Evelyn, just because she's a big deal for Big Finish, as she was his first.
She's one of their best companions.
One of the best companions, yeah, but his like first Big Finish companion was her. Just like a little bit more of a nod, but I understand.
They kind of do that with Hebe, because Hebe has a connection with her. Like she was one of her students.
Did he mention Hebe? No.
Which I think the implication is that Hebe is after all this.
Hebe's either after this or
because he's traveling with Mel. I think I can't remember who said it, but someone said it's like the implication is that Hebe joins during like his final, like probably his final years leading up to his end.
I don't believe that. Yeah. But this is just such a good like celebration. I loved it. I think the stories are nice. The Quins, the performance is great. It did get a little hard to tell which Quinn was talking sometimes, so
Doesn't help that it's the same voice actor for all of them.
Well, it does make sense. They're supposed to be identical, but they're actually a part of sextuplets, because we learned that at the end. But
which I called. I called from the get go. Like, this character is our first character that's introduced. She's with Mel and the Doctor. She seems too important, and then you bring up that the king's wife went missing, and also like another child went missing. So I'm like, and they don't know who the firstborn is. I'm like, I'm calling it. This is it. But even then, it was good.
Yeah, no, even knowing it, it's still such a fun story.
It is. Everything about this is really fun. Then you get some really good emotional moments, like in the 1,000-Year Thaw, when they address the whole like how the Sixth Doctor and Perry met, and it wasn't on the best of circumstances, and she was actually very I love that exchange is great, and then her deciding maybe it's time I leave.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time I go.
And then
at the end, it's like, I'm renewing our contract. I'm renewing our friendship. Can I continue to travel with you? It's like, it's great. Because I was wondering, like, why do we have 2 Perry stories? But then it does factor into the plot. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm fine with it. Because I was wondering, like, should we have, there's like other Sixth Doctor companions? Could we give them a story? But it doesn't work to it being a celebration, and Perry's kind of very important.
I don't like, though, that like it's no relation, because obviously it's a different story set in a different era. But we just had a story with 2 Sarah Janes, and like a crucial plot element was the fact that, oh, you can't touch, and then they had to go ahead and touch each other at the end, so that way they could cause something to happen. Same thing happens here. It's just a little close for us.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's not the story's problem. That's our
Doctor Who. Doctor Who reuses ideas.
Yeah. It's just a little too soon. And that's my fault. But anyway, it's just so much fun, and I'm really glad that I did join you for this review because I was considering, well, do I need to? But just to go ahead and talk about Sixth Doctor,
No.
he doesn't
Yeah,
get enough love, and this gives him some much needed attention.
what are you talking about? That's the entirety of Big Finish. It gives him a lot of love. It quote unquote saved him.
I know, but in all honesty, season 23 saved him, but nobody wants to address that because they can't admire Peak.
But no, yeah, for me, like overall with the Quin Dilemma, it's a fun box set. I think it's a pretty decent, pretty good celebration of the Sixth Doctor. I enjoyed every story, but I think the highlight being, actually, I can't even think of a highlight. There's moments I can highlight, like I said, with the Thousand Year Thaw, with the Doctor and Perry. Those conversations, those exchanges are great. But I can't really pick out a story that's be like, this one is better.
I really love that Sontaran story. Like, honestly, outside of the box set itself, this just facing the Sontarans on this planet with the sibling rivalry.
Actually, yeah. Now, you point that out. That could have been a story by itself. That could have just, like, if you remove the Quinn plot,
yeah,
that story could have just, like, the Doctor, Constance, and Flip arrive on a planet in the middle of a civil war, and the Sontarans are there for their own nefarious plans.
Yep, but it's still because the story threads it so seamlessly that.
Which reminds me, I think you might like the Sixth Doctor and Charlie Sontaran story that came out recently. Born to Die.
Into that, yeah, I need to because
Charlie, I liked it.
Okay, I do need to get to it. I'm still on that first one, man. I'm still on that first one. It's really hard to get through. Like, I don't know why.
I feel like you kind of need the first one for this one because it's Charlie post 8.
Yeah,
and it's Charlie pretending she doesn't know. So they're actually. I'll give props to. Now we're just doing a mini review of Born to Die in here, but I'll give props to the writer because it's their first story for Big Finish. She really understood Six and Charlie's dynamic. Now Charlie is supposed to act around Six. She's not supposed to know these things, but she might slip up. Like there's a part where she accidentally is like, "It's the Rutans," and the Doctor's like, "How do you know the Rutans?" It's like, I mean, it's green. It's a monster. I assumed it would be the Rutans. The Doctor's like, yes. Anyway,
yes,
because he name drops them. I think also the Sontarans obviously name drop them, so she has something to kind of fall back on. But no, the Quin Dilemma, it's great. Everyone did fantastic performances. Yeah. What more there is to say? And also, fantastic cover.
Out of Quinn, what are you rating it?
No, before we get to that, cover by Sean Longmore. You know, I got really sick and tired of the water painting covers.
Which one?
The same picture of Hebe again and again and again. So,
which one is wearing the what is that? What is the title of that? Crap. The coat. Doctor in Distress coat? No. The Ultimate
Adventure?
Ultimate
None of them. I don't think any of them are.
Because one's wearing the classic.
One's wearing the classic. One's wearing the Necros blue funeral thing. I think that's because they said blue is supposed to be like for funerals. One's wearing the full blue. And then one is... No, two of them are wearing the classic, but one is Sixth Doctor with bigger hair.
No, it's that coat. The one that came from a special that he wore.
No, it's not Ultimate Adventure. Okay. Nah. Because the only difference is, going off from the cover, One's cravat is cyan, teal. The other one is red. And one is shorter hair. One has bigger hair.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Because the Ultimate Adventure one looks very different. And it's not Ultimate Adventure. Which, again, they get a reference in this, companion-wise. Jason and Crystal, they're from the Ultimate Adventure. And Zog, I think.
I think you're wrong. That is a different coat. Like,
No, it's similar coat.
Green up top. It's similar, but it's green on the top. He's wearing the red tie.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't think it's Ultimate Adventure. Because the Ultimate Adventure one is very different. It follows pattern scheme, but like very different colors. Well, there's some similar colors, but
all right, I concede. I don't know why.
It's just one is supposed to be early 6, and the other one is later 6, like trial error 6.
Carrot juice.
Carrot juice.
Either way, great box set. If you like the Sixth Doctor, or in fact, if you don't like the Sixth Doctor, it doesn't really matter. It's such a good story. Get it. Listen to it.
It is. It's a very fun, enjoyable story. I had a great time with it, and I liked the approximately 30-minute runtime for each story.
Yeah.
Apart from the obvious 2-parter, I didn't feel like we needed more.
And every story felt full. Like every single one, it didn't feel like anything was
obviously missing. 1 connects to 6, obviously, and then 3 and 4 are a 2-parter. But then you have 2 and 5, which just worked at that short 30-minute. And also, that's H.G. Wells. That's with them in that story.
I know.
I kind of forgot. I'm like, who? And then I looked it up. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. There's like kind of that brief moment where they go to take, after Time Lapse, they take H.G. Wells back. So I'm guessing they just went on adventures in the meantime. I guess.
Had to have some fun.
Yeah.
Woman with she's got a heart as big as a TARDIS. And it's just so much. I love it. I really think it 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
I'd give it a yeah. I'd probably give it either 8.5 or 9 out of 10.
Just yeah. The only reason why it's not like a 10 out of 10 is just because it is something that's it's an anniversary, and an anniversary just can't be 10 out of 10. I feel like it's a celebration, and that takes it into account, and it feels that way. It's a good story, but it's definitely a celebration, and it's someone I love, so that works.
More of 6, more of me,
more of me,
more of me.
Not a moment too soon.
But yes, that is our review / discussion of the Quin Dilemma. Thank you everyone for watching. If you've listened to the Quin Dilemma, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure to check out our weekly live streams, any other videos or reviews we do on our channel. Still waiting on Jimmy's. Still waiting on yours.
I did more than him.
That's true, but
I know. Listen, it was just hard. I did the first one and I was like, oh, you know what? This is actually a really good story. And then you go into the next one. Oh, Ghost Monument sucks. It's very hard to go ahead and get real. But yeah, that's this for now.
That's all for now. Ciao.
As the
Sixth Doctor's very famous last words are
carrot
juice.